City Mouse and the Country Mouse. There once lived two mice who were the best of friends, but one mouse lived in the city, and the other mouse lived in the country. One day, the City Mouse decided to pay his good old friend a visit, so he took the train, and off he went to the country. The city's many skyscrapers were soon out of sight as the train quickly left the city behind. And after a while, the City Mouse began to see only green meadows and cows and sheep grazing in the grass. "How strange the country looks," he thought to himself. The City Mouse finally arrived at the Country Mouse's home, where he was warmly welcomed. The Country Mouse had prepared a lot of food for dinner, but the City Mouse wasn't used to simple country food, so he said, "I'm really not very hungry," and he ate a little bit of it, just to be polite. When it came time for bed, the City Mouse couldn't sleep. The bed he was in was hard and not very comfortable, and there were lots of crickets chirping and owls hooting in the night. "How does anyone sleep here in the country?" he wondered. The next morning, the City Mouse was very tired, but not the Country Mouse. "Let's go for a walk," the Country Mouse brightly suggested. And off they went, but the grass was long and wet from the early morning dewdrops, and the City Mouse's feet and trousers got all wet. He really didn't like the country very much. "You know," the City Mouse said, "you should come with me to the city. It's so different there. We have restaurants to eat in, sidewalks to walk on, and very nice furniture. You'll love it there." The Country Mouse wasn't very convinced, but he decided to accompany his friend back to the city, just to be polite. In the city, the Country Mouse was surprised. "There are so many people," he said, "and there's so much noise." "It's just the cars," the City Mouse replied. At nighttime, they prepared to go to bed, but the Country Mouse couldn't sleep. The bed was too soft for him, and the noise from the traffic outside made him jumpy. When morning came, the Country Mouse was very tired, but not the City Mouse. "Let's go and eat. I know a fabulous place," said the City Mouse happily. They crept into the kitchen of a nearby restaurant and were nibbling on the leftover food they found there when suddenly the restaurant's mouser pounced. The two frightened mice quickly ran from the fearsome cat and barely managed to escape by a whisker. After scrambling over garbage cans and other bits of clutter in the street, they finally found refuge behind a grating in the building where the City Mouse lived. "Sometimes this happens," the City Mouse said. "We need to be alert in the city." But the city was just too much for the Country Mouse. He said goodbye to his old friend and went back to the country where he felt he belonged. From that time forward, whenever nighttime came and the stars twinkled above, each mouse would gaze at the sky above him and think, "Oh, it's good to be home."